How's it going? Hope you're having a great day. So this has been quite the evening. So I literally just recorded a long video and I can't use it because the audio is jacked. I sound like a robot. It's messed up. But let's start the story from the beginning. So I wanted to make a whole new video setup, and it's an idea it's like an evolution from how things started with deploying content about photography. I've had the podcast, I've done a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of different types of things. And this is something I've wanted to do. I've messed with live streaming, and this is kind of in that realm of like what I need to do to make the videos I want to make. Not necessarily live, but how it's set up. So to kind of explain everything so I have 3 cameras set up right now. I started off with 2 yesterday, and how I got it going. So I have an above camera, and so I can do things like this, where I can show a print. We'll go over this in a second. And also I can just take my face out of there. I can bring it back, and then I can bring it back to here. We can also check out my website. I restarted my computer, all that, so I didn't bring that up right now, but this is where we'd go. I'd have my website over here on this side, and also Lightroom. So both of those are set up so we can show photos in Lightroom and that type of thing. Also go over my website, or if we want to check out something online, we can do that here. And so that was all good. Audio, I'll get into that. Plugged it in. It's a Rode wireless mic and instantly worked. First test video, I probably have done like 50 little test videos, like 10-second little tests. Plugged it in yesterday. Not one single problem out of every single test. So um, one thing I want to do that I was having issues with ports and what would work with what port because of different power sources, blah, blah, blah. I got a new power source so I can get things going even better because I wanted to add a third camera, and that worked right away as well. And that's this camera right here. So we can show the printer and talk about the print that's being made. This third camera can also do could just be something else as well if I'm showing a third thing or want to go handheld with something. But that's kind of like its gimmick right now is showing the printer. Again, I can also just take my face off there if I want to as well. So um, the problem is I set up the camera, worked right away. I'm like, awesome, 3 cameras, no problems, no issues. I don't see anything happening wrong. My audio levels were perfect. I wasn't even concerned about audio because I I watched a bunch of the little tests yesterday. My crucial problem, my critical problem today is I set up the third camera. Everything was good. Audio levels are great. Audio levels are working fine. And I'm like, cool. I'm gonna start recording now. I'm excited. I got things ready to go. I didn't do a test recording before going. I had no video problems. The video is fine. For some random reason, the audio was messed up. It sounded like a robot. On my levels is perfect, but it was messed up. And I learned a few things after that because I was actually real excited when I actually hit recording. I said out loud to myself, "That was so fun." So I'm salvaging a video here, obviously, because I needed to make something out of tonight. But it was because it really went through the process of me testing out new print paper. I could act it all out, but I just don't want to because it was so like in the moment that I don't really want to try to like fake all of that. So, but what I learned is I have an audio recorder. I'm going to record audio separately. Not doing that right now and maybe that's going to be a crucial problem now, or critical problem. I'm using both words. Um, but that's something I'll probably do in the future, especially for this type of stuff. It'll just be a backup just in case. It won't sound as good, but it is what it is. It's better than having robot audio or no audio. Um, and my other thing is just make sure to do a test recording. The funny thing is I was recording to an external drive. Every single test in my 36-minute video worked. And then I was going to record this just before this video, and my hard drive crashed. And it's not wanting to record to that now. So now I'm recording to my actual hard drive. And when I switched to my hard drive, the audio was back to being robotic, but I tested it and I noticed it. And so here's the fix. This is what's insane about the problem. I spent like a half hour after that 36-minute video trying to figure out why my audio is messed up. I restarted my computer, turning off, turning on, changing ports, back to that whole gimmick. You know what I actually had to do? I had to select my audio source, which is the wireless thing on my program here. I had to change it to the default MacBook Pro audio and then just change it back to the wireless me. And it worked. Resetting the microphone, resetting the computer, resetting the programs did not work, but just changing it to a different microphone and then changing it back to this microphone made it work. So, and I'm having issues right now, apparently. My thing just spazzed out, so watch. It's black. So now we're back in. So that's actually a good test. See if my audio is messed up. We're definitely having a little bit of power issues. And I think it's one port. So I think I'm literally going to order something right after here. The same external drive I got today, I'm gonna get for tomorrow, hopefully, and test that out. So I'm gonna go through this quick just in case if that whole glitch messed up the audio. Um, and if it did, I'm going to lose my mind. So I went through the whole process of like going through these scenes and like talking about it, but I want to talk about real quick, and we'll go over it in more detail in another video because I do want to go over it a lot more, is I was testing out matte paper compared to my luster paper and where I wanted to go moving forward. I talked about this camera and lens and all that kind of stuff, but so the problem with luster is you get these glares, right? But you do get a little bit more of a pop, I guess, in like the colors. But that looks pretty good, right? I mean, this looks good too. It's a different vibe, but this is where I went back and forth with this thing for probably 10 minutes. I also did test print of the lap dance photo. Here's the luster, and here's the matte. This is what I kind of thought of going through it. This is like archival, proper, professional paper. So it's not against the paper. Because I mean the quality is insane, right? But like looking at this right now, and this is just kind of my take on it, and this is after examining it in that long video, is that this luster, which I've used luster for like since I started printing, like let's say let's call it 12 years. I've used luster paper, even my big 12 or 13 by 19 papers, a different brand, but it's still luster. So I've always used kind of like the semi-gloss, it's kind of like a sheen kind of look. But after looking at some of my photo books, like my favorite photographers and like how the paper is and that, it's like I want to look into it, which that's what I'm doing. But now, like that I look at this, I feel like this is like not the quality. Let me stress that's not the quality of the paper, but just the looks, the general look. I feel like when you hold this one, when you're looking at it, it reminds me now that I see the other one is like when you would pick up, you know, your photos from the corner store or whatever, you know, the camera shop or whatever. I think when you look at this one, I think you get more of like this is an art print. Do you feel that way? Like just on the video side of things? I kn- the funny thing is I noticed it when I did that. Like I was looking at side by side for like a long time in the first video. But now like when I was looking at like this, I think I was just showing it closer and then when I moved it, I was like, oh, that's a good way to look at it. So when you're looking at it here, like, does that look more legit in the sense of like an art print? Again, it's not quality of paper. It's more of a visual appeal. The visual. See how close we can get here. Let me try to get that glare out of there just so we can get a. Anyways, we'll talk about that more in another video. I'm hoping this one worked out all right. I had it like yeah, I got to figure some stuff out still apparently. It's super weird that we're having more like these power type glitches now because I recorded for 36 minutes and had none of those, but an audio issue. So I have work to do apparently, but that's what this was all about. It was a test video and more work needs to be done. If you made it this far, hit that subscribe button for my struggles. I'm excited to do more of these. Um, I'll make another video for like a full on like what I'm planning on doing. The first 36-minute video was a really good example of where I want to go with my with the art life. So anyways, thank you very much. My thing over here is spazzing again, so I better cut myself off here. Again, if you made it this far, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.